need it tonight.
No, but we need it by the vacancy conversation on Monday.
I'll drop it off.
You can just email it.
I'll do it tonight, but I got.
Alright, I know I got.
Are we recording, Deb?
We are live.
Okay.
Okay, I call the meeting to order at 5:30 on March 4th, 2026. Select Board special meeting to organize and resource sharing. So I have packets, and inside your packet is your oath, your W-4, your direct deposit, your welcome letter, your personnel policy, your balanced budget policy, grants management, select board packet. It has been updated. It's doubled in size from last year's. The mold study is on here, and there's a mediation report in here. That is confidential. You may not speak of it at this meeting. The only time you could speak about it is an executive session, and do not share with anybody outside of this room.
Is that the old one or the new, that's the old one?
Mediation report?
No, the mold.
Mold, it's the one that Mike Barrett did?
2024, I believe.
That's the one I have, yeah,
Yep. I have, Marcel started a process with the team in town at St. J. I can't even remember the name of the firm right now, but visual inspection, they can offer for $175 to see visually whether the mold is traveling anywhere in the garage. Subject matter for next week, I presume.
Yes, yes. So, you will notice on the letter from this office, there are some meetings that can be attended. I'm just gonna steal it.
Go for it.
Is that recommended for everybody?
I highly recommend everybody go to open meeting
Mandatory
law.
for everybody?
It's March 18th. They have a morning session from 10 to 11:30, and they have an evening session from 6 to 7:30. Sean, since you're the newest one in the crowd, you know Heather, the treasurer, and Marcel is the assistant treasurer, assistant town clerk. So if there are any questions on your resource packets,
I was wondering, when were those, open meeting?
it's right on the bottom of your letter.
Yeah.
It's like the last paragraph.
Yeah.
So as far as your packet goes, I need the oaths of office this evening, the W-2s or W-4s and direct deposit. You guys can submit that at any time. I just need the oaths. I fill out the bottom, Kathy.
Those are for the new members only.
Okay. Sign here in Waterford, sign here in Waterford.
Oh, that said signature, justice of peace, so I thought it was you.
No, or local official.
Okay, sorry.
That's you.
I just think you shall belong. And talk to all.
What did I just do? What did I just do?
And she, said that they're having an internal problem. We
Congratulations.
can't, I can't.
Should I
sign the bottom?
So nope, all you do is usually sign here in Waterford and sign
It's,
here.
it's, they're at,
Yeah.
yeah, maybe I'll call them.
Why am I not seeing
Does it have
the,
anything to do with our upgraded systems?
oath of office?
It does, yep.
Doesn't apply to us since we're
Okay.
incumbent.
An overdraft.
That's movies.
Yes. Okay.
I just, cause I was gonna do, the 68 for the,
Give me this
the
too.
truck and I wouldn't let me do it.
Interesting. Did you have to go down there and do it right now, or did you?
I just went down to ask her, I'm gonna have to go down and call her and tell her.
At some point you need to exchange
We're
home
gonna have to do the same thing when we do
and
transfer
Heather
and
will help you
pay
with your email.
the fee.
Are they gonna fix
Can
that?
I fill this out and bring it another
You
time?
can, absolutely.
Mhm.
Yep.
They're working on it.
Do you need a pen?
I got one.
Okay.
I don't have anything, I'm sorry.
All right, so the first item on our agenda, or the second item on our agenda, is elect a select board chair.
I'd like to nominate Tamira.
Is this the time for speeches?
Can we make other nominations too?
Absolutely.
I nominate Will.
Okay, I guess.
Can I just,
Yep, go ahead.
no, go ahead, you speak.
Yeah, I was gonna say, the thought of being a chair doesn't fill me with any sort of delight, because I know how much work it probably is gonna involve. That said, I believe it's best for the town that I would be the chair for a number of reasons we may or may not get into tonight. I understand board process pretty well. I don't have any conflicts with the town. I don't have any conflicts of interest, period, that I'm aware of. None have been brought to my attention. I have what I hope but feel is a good relationship with the entire office, the clerk, the treasurer, and the assistant treasurer. And I think I have a cooperative and productive working relationship with the office. My overall belief in my work here as a select board member is that the town voters, the residents, the taxpayers, all in one, are my North Star, my guiding focus. And I presume it's the same, and I suggest and propose to everybody in this room that it's the same for you as well. But I take that seriously, and I'm not going to compromise that. So I think that's all I have to say about that. Appreciate your vote. I'd like your vote. If elected, appointed to the chair position, I would bring as much energy and commitment and dedication as I have to my position as a select board member. The one advantage I can see with Will is he's younger, more vigorous, a little more handsome. I'll leave it at that.
Just point of order. So Kathy nominated Tim. Was there a second to his nomination?
Do nominations need a second?
I mean, you usually need a second.
I'll second it, but are we gonna be able to ask these two guys a couple of questions before a vote?
Yeah, absolutely. I
Okay.
just checking. So so Will was also nominated. Is there a second for his nomination?
Can I do both?
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Can I speak? You wanna hear the second speech, or do you have questions for
No,
Tim?
go ahead.
Yep.
So I appreciate the compliment, Tim, but I certainly hope my age has nothing to do with my qualifications to be chair. The real issue we have right now is our meetings. They have a tendency to get kind of rambly. There's a lot of back and forth between audience members, and that really eats into our time, right? The whole point of a select board meeting is that we work together, we handle business, we ask questions of one another, and the town is there to spectate. There is a period for public comment, but it shouldn't be, everyone has to weigh in every second on every item. There's a time and a place for it. When I got here, I went looking through the policies binder. 2 years ago, the board passed a select board rules of participation policy, which I remember looking, but I couldn't find one in there. The only one I could find in there dated to 2011. But essentially that laid out a process whereby everyone had 2 minutes to speak. You were allowed, I believe, something on the lines of 1 rebuttal. You had a period for public comment at the end, but you could only speak if recognized by the chair, and you could only direct remarks to the chair. You couldn't direct it at someone else in the room. And somehow we've kind of lost weigh a little with that. And it's led to some really long, drawn out meetings where it doesn't need to be. And, you know, the overall thing here is we have authority as a board, right? We don't have authority as individuals. So that time is time for us to make our decisions. And we need to be unified. I echo, you know, Tim's sentiment. We got to be on a unified front with the town office. We got to be on a unified front with the planning commission, with the development review board, with all the departments we oversee, with the fire department. Because we all share the same end goal, which is to serve the taxpayers and help manage the business of the town of Waterford, not just now, but also looking ahead to the future. And you mentioned last night, Tim, we have a couple big issues coming up, the chief of which I think is the town garage. But we also are looking, you know, at future financial planning. I went back and watched the February 9th meeting, which I wasn't able to be at. And I very much like the idea of an investment fund. I think that's a great tactic. I know Cabot has one that, you know, they had a windfall come into, and that's been funding a lot of their stuff for decades. So, you know, as chair, it would be, you know, keep the meetings running on time, keep everyone focused, and again, you know, ensure cooperation among everyone.
I'll respond to that and just mention that this is an area Will and I do agree with. The meetings have been a little unstructured, and I said I've got a pretty good idea about the meeting process. I'm not going to go down into the details, but I have 27 years of experience as an attorney, and I have a total of 37 board years experience sitting in and being chair of various boards, not 37 years as chair, but I've chaired a lot of boards. This is not new to me, and it's my intention that we run a little bit more strictly. Will mention that the meetings are our opportunity to conduct business. It's absolutely the truth. The board has this opportunity to conduct business. The public is invited to witness that business being conducted, but they have limited mechanisms for interaction with the board. I would like to see that tightened so that we're operating more efficiently, period. Thank you.
The only question I have with Will being chair is that he works out of town so much in the summer, and that I just think it's, and he's pretty busy with his golfing and all that, and with the road commissioner. I just think that a chairman should be someone who is here in town for the majority of the work time, so that they can come in and do what they need to do in the town office. And Tim's got a lot more years' experience as a chairman, and I just think that's my recommendation for Tim. Not that I question that you can't do it. I just think that with the golfing and all that, that you're pretty busy from April to October.
Well, so there has been a change to that. I no longer work in the golf industry. I'm in the interview process to teach at the academy. So I'm not going to be going back to Newport this summer.
Okay, good for you. Good luck.
Thank you.
So I have a rather, I guess, kind of direct question. I was at a meeting where you were at, and you somewhat expressed that you may be interested in running for a different political office. And I don't know, are you going to run for a different political office, I guess is the question.
No.
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 Yeah, go ahead.
So I know I don't have any bearing on this decision with the select board. But given the last year, and what the town office has had to endure and work through, I don't think that there's been enough time to mend the relationship, and make it so that it is a workable relationship right now. And with the big ticket items coming up, the investment fund, the work with the town garage and trying to fund it and stuff. I really feel like the treasurer's office personally needs to have a good working relationship with the board chair. And I'm not sure that Will, you and I are at that point yet.
Okay, I'm sorry you feel that way.
So that's just my 2 cents.
Do either of you two folks have any comments? So I guess we should maybe move for a vote.
I wonder if we should take a moment and read the mediator's report for some, I think, relevant background. I hate to bring up anything negative, but I think Will either has or will be handicapped, no pun intended, in the future as a chair because of issues that are raised in the mediator's report.
I think they have them in that packet, don't
Yeah, they do. Yeah,
Oh.
they have them in that.
I just had them on there.
So that should go.
Since I was involved.
I believe it's in the back. It's the one with the paper clip on it. If you look at the top.
Yeah, where in the packet is the report?
Mediation report?
Yeah.
Yep, that's the one.
So if I could say something to that, what I will say, and I know we can't say a lot, but I would challenge what was written. I would challenge the professionalism of what was written, and I would challenge the decision that was said on that. And it really, we need to be in executive session if we're gonna talk about that, so.
Exactly.
How can you challenge the report?
I don't think it was professional. I've played part in several mediations.
You weren't
And a
there.
professional. I have a copy of the report. And I'm also privy to it being a board member,
Right, right.
so. But I don't know that would move for a vote. If we're gonna vote, that's what we're doing this year. You both said exactly what my question was gonna be. The meetings take forever, and they don't need to. I think you would both do a phenomenal job. There's a vice chair position, so.
I would be comfortable, Tim, with you as chair. If you would be comfortable with me as vice chair.
I would accept that,
I would
and I
accept
appreciate
that.
the graciousness of it.
So I guess I'm gonna call for a vote. All those in favor of having Tim Yarrow as your chair, say aye.
Aye.
5.
That was 4-0.
4-0.
One abstain.
Thank you and no thank you.
You're welcome.
So then I will ask for a vote on your vice chair. I don't have to? Huh?
Tim takes over.
Oh, Tim takes over.
Okay, next agenda item, vote for a vice chair. As per our discussion, I would nominate Will Jones.
I'm nominated and seconded. Right?
For-
Oh, for vice chair.
For
Got
vice
it.
chair.
Vice chair.
Got it. Thank you.
And I seconded it.
Okay, so there's a motion and a second on the table. Discussion?
None for me.
Okay, all those in
I second it.
favor of Will Jones as vice chair of the board, signify by saying aye.
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 4-0.
Aye.
Thanks, Sean. All right, 4-0.
So, then the next thing on your agenda is, your next
To it.
meeting or your agenda for your next meeting.
We're talking the 9th.
Yep, and it's pretty much set already. You'll review your meeting minutes from February 18th. Oh, pre-town meeting minutes from February 24th and March 4th, which is this meeting. You have a festival permit. We have the vacancy because we have to advertise that Kathy is vacating her auditor's position. Town garage mold and then appointments. And that's gonna be until at least 7:30. And that's
Town garage as in the project
the
itself?
mold, The mold.
Okay. I would propose that we put the town garage on there and start making some decisions about what we're gonna do with ARPA funds.
This is gonna be a long meeting already.
We have a pretty good slate of appointees, at least I do, with a few holes in it, but not bad.
I have no holes in mine. I'm batting 1,000. I don't have a single person backed out. So we should breeze through those.
Well, that's good.
I would say that ARPA money, we don't need to even talk about. If we're gonna do stuff with the garage, we've already designated funds for the garage. If we're gonna move ahead, then we can use those funds for whatever we're gonna move ahead to.
These the ARPA funds?
Yes, we
Yeah.
have, I think it's 27,000,
24.
24, somewhere in that neighborhood right now.
What I'm proposing, and I want good discussion on this as well as community input, is that we hire an engineering firm to perform some sort of an analysis. In my mind, it sounds like a feasibility study to look at the benefits or costs of renovation versus starting from a clean slate and building fresh. Don't need to go into the weeds on that tonight, but those two issues, those two sides of the coin seem to be where we're at. And I'd like the board and the community to know what our expenses are approximately. We're not gonna know for sure, but close.
Like you and I did the other day, we looked at the fire department blueprints. We can adapt those to a town garage. I've been trying to contact, I know a commercial contractor that, I'm trying to get him to just take a look at those, take a look at the garage, give me an idea money-wise. What it's gonna cost to raise that wall, put the new roof on it, pretty it up, put lipstick on the pig or whatever, or build a new one.
Right. Like I said, we're not gonna go into the details tonight. I'm gonna continue to always wear my devil's advocacy hat and say, great that we have the plans from the fire department. Hopefully they're adaptable for the town garage, maybe some additional engineering expense. I don't know, but that's a next week thing. Appreciate you bringing it up though. What else for next week, if anything?
Well, I was just gonna ask, has anybody contacted like Barton, which built the new town garage, or Burke Mountain area?
I've been in touch with both
Mhm.
Burke
I was gonna say.
and Sheffield, who have just recently gone through the process, finding the political will and starting the work. It's fascinating what I've learned out and what I've learned. And I want to say, I am nearly floored by the offers of assistance and guidance that the town is being offered by people who were instrumental in those projects. Like, how did they do it? What mistakes did they make? What worked for them? Really good information. And they've been so generous making their resources available to us. So we're not going to be doing this alone. We'll have good information.
And you investigated and so did Will.
Yeah, I looked into a couple other towns.
Which towns were you, Will?
I looked into Victory and Kirby. They opted for more on the renovation side and they had MERP funding for that. I also looked at Cabot, but I was mistaken about Cabot. They had built a new garage 10 years ago. And they have their Cabot community fund, which essentially decades and decades ago,
You know how big that is?
several millions. And
Tiny Sheffield is 4.7, just FYI.
Oh, no, not the cost. Sorry, I thought you meant the community development fund. No, the cost of the building on that
Well,
one.
I was asking about the size of their fund, because that's key to everything.
So theirs was a situation where I believe they asked the creamery had to make infrastructure improvements to something they were involved in. The creamery said to the town, hey, we don't have the capital right now. If you do it, we'll pay you back plus interest. And the town essentially banked that money as they received the payments for it. And over the span of, I think it was 15 or 20 years that it was paid back, they banked that into an investment fund. And they have trustees to manage it, independent from elected officers in the town. And they use any big infrastructure project, they pull from that if they can, obviously trying not to.
They pay it back on a schedule.
Yeah, they try not to draw down more than they earn in any given year. And if they do, then they try and account for that the next year and compensate.
That is another example of where this town needs to get to, as far as I'm concerned, but I hope you all agree that that is the way to conduct business.
I agree.
Has anybody reached out to the state senator or the state representative to see if there's state funds or grants to add to
No
those?
state funds.
There's no grants available.
Nothing.
Not
Grants
right
are
now.
project specific usually. They're not to like say, oh yeah, here you go, Waterford, here's $1 million to get your funds started.
Yeah.
There was infrastructure money available for community-based projects. So if you had a community center that you wanted to set up as a senior living or Meals on Wheels, there was money available for that, but not for just infrastructure for rebuilding a town garage.
But there is a Vermont Bond Bank, and we could use them and get a low interest loan, so I've already been in touch with them and talked to them
Is
about
it about 4% right now?
3.5%, 4%, something like that, yeah. Just we
That's a
almost
long
got,
conversation
we
too.
almost got that at Somerset Bank, so.
Have you even, yeah, I don't want to get down to the weeds.
Yep.
Some other time.
So do you want
Thank
me
you
to
for that
add,
though.
do you want me to add highway garage to your agenda?
Can we be productive next week? That's a general question.
I don't see why not.
I think that you just have to, what is the question? Like, what do you want the board
First
to
steps.
decide on?
First step would be
steps.
the mold thing, I would think.
That's a given.
Yeah.
First steps for actual town garage project.
Mhm.
How do we start?
Okay, I'll let him know.
Yeah, and if we don't get to it next week, push it off, but
Do we know how much it's gonna cost to remediate the mold?
We had an offer we had an estimate at one time, 2 or 3 years ago, but this has been kicked down the road so often that I could call him up and find out what it is, but he might even know.
yeah, no, I've had that conversation with the firm. It was 24,000
Yeah.
last time in I can't remember if it was 22 or 24. It might have been 22 when we got the estimate.
Yeah,
Then some
somewhere
mold
in there.
testing. Sounds about right. She thought inflation, yada, yada, probably in the neighborhood of 29, no guarantees. And that depends what they actually find when they start the work.
And do we need that kind of Band-Aid in order to keep the building open? If we
Well-
chose to build a new garage?
My opinion is if they come in and say the mold's moved, we close off that section of the building. And we just use what we have, and then we're gonna have to really look at what we're gonna have to do.
We're
I mean-
operating with very few facts right now.
After all this time, the can's been kicked around, there's few facts.
Yeah.
We have
Just about where we're at.
That's just about.
political will, And-
Mhm.
interest. Good thing you're here.
Thank you.
So, garage project, first steps. Possibly implicating the ARPA fund. Anything else? I think we've got a pretty full agenda already.
We do, but is there any way we can put a brief executive session on there? And without going into a lot of detail, be personnel, wages.
Okay,
I'll put personnel.
I know it can be brief. I think we talked. Can't remember. Maybe it was in my head.
I was gonna say, I don't think I'm familiar with this,
But it would
but
be
I'm sure we will be on Monday.
And then I know you're meeting on the 23rd. You will have town meeting synopsis sign off.
For the 23rd, the only thing I would add was there was potential for a fourth revision of the personnel policy, and then that kind of got tabled and left to the new board.
unfinished business. Yeah.
I met with Sue to kind of go over what her changes were, and then have some other ones I'd like to run by the board, adding policies on discipline / termination procedures, but also grievances with, other departments or supervisors or elected officials.
We'd also left open, about uniforms and shoes.
Yes, those were part of
Because I've gone
Sue's.
back and reviewed all the IRS material for, nonprofits, and as long as we say it's a condition of employment, then safety shoes would not be taxed.
Mhm,
We do not say that in our policy,
mhm.
and we need like a payment policy or whatever, some type of receipt policy in there, says you do this, and then you'll be reimbursed for your,
Tax-free, I presume.
tax-free.
While we're addressing personnel policy, I think maybe we ought to clarify also around accident reporting.
Yes.
I'm thinking the issue of the right-of-way and mailboxes and fences, I don't know if that needs to be highlighted or not, or addressed in any way, but I raise that as a possibility.
Mhm.
You have to appoint an auditor.
Yes.
Yes.
In the meantime, would this be for the 23rd or Monday that we'd appoint the auditor?
The 23rd,
Okay.
because before Tim leaves, he's gonna sign this notice so I can put it out. It's the notice that the vacancy is happening.
Okay.
And
So
I'll,
you're expecting
and I'll-
applicants to,
You have
Right,
to
so-
advertise it first, yeah.
Mhm.
okay,
and I'll send my email as soon as I get home.
You can't put that out until after the meeting.
After on Monday.
Okay.
does Kathy's resignation need to come in first?
Yeah, she's gonna send it to me before Monday.
I mean, I could write it real quick before I even leave the office. I
That's
don't
fine,
care.
That's fine.
I'm done.
All right, I think we've got a pretty busy next Monday, and I suppose on Monday we'll talk about anything else we can squeeze into the 24th if possible.
Just for the record, I'm gonna be out of town the 11th through the 18th if something should come up. I could answer by phone or talk on the phone, but we are on vacation.
I am the same time. I'll be out of town except for one extra day. We're back to the 20th. I think. And I will not have my cell phone.
The 11th through the 20th, right?
I leave the 11th, I'll be back the 20th. Not till.
Well, you'll have it, but just not gonna answer.
Yeah, I won't be back till midnight of the 18th, so
Well, it sounds fun, whatever you two are up to, independently, I presume.
I'm
It's
going to,
84 degrees there today, I'll tell you that.
I'm going to Vegas to the NASCAR race, so.
Oh,
Oh, nice.
Oh,
So ready.
Nice.
I just got back.
Okay, let's just finish up here.
Motion to adjourn.
Yeah, I guess so.
so
Okay.
moved.
Okay, second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you, folks.
It's a long day.
Here we go.
3 hours.
There we go.
That's